12 mind-flustering hybrid xenomorph species explored in detail. The perfect organism, the epitome of terror, that is, the Xenomorph. And it has continued to haunt humanity since its inception in 1979. There have been hundreds of types of these aliens, each with its own unique physiology and features. As you already know, the Xenomorphs emerge out of a host and take on that individual's basic physical and genetic traits. This leads to various strains of them being produced. Anyone who has seen the Alien films, or read the comics, or even has a passing knowledge of these beasts, has always wondered what it would be like if a Xenomorph spawned out of a different animals. Say the T-Rex, for instance, or Rhinoceroses, or maybe vampires. Well, you don't have to imagine anymore, because different writers have put their own unique spins on them. In this video, we will introduce you to some of the fiercest and coolest Xenomorphs that were ever featured in any media. So, sit tight and dim the lights, cause this one is going to be a ride full of fright. Before we get into the explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click from you, but means a lot to us. Thank you. Let's begin. Dog Alien. In Alien 3, a dog named Spike gets impregnated by a facehugger. Soon, a quadrupedal chestburster comes out of Spike, but it has fully developed into a xenomorph and matures into a runner. The dog alien was considerably different from a xenomorph spawned from a human. The most prominent feature is its quadruped stance and digitigrade hind legs. The dog alien has an inner jaw with fangs, and its head crest was elongated and smooth, just like drones, while other xenomorphs appear to be a grayish-black in color. This one had a reddish-brown hue to its skin. Although capable of walking and running in a bipedal stance, the dog alien ran swiftly when it was on all fours, and preferred to remain so at all times. It's essentially a runner xenomorph, which, as some of you may already know, is a separate caste of xenomorphs. Runners are the fastest of all xenomorphs, but they sacrifice strength for speed. When they encounter a prey or enemy, they tend to outmaneuver them rather than try and overpower them. Having said that, their speed is so high that it creates a momentum capable of crushing bone. As far as its intelligence is concerned, the dog alien relies on stealth and surprise. Likewise, all runners also follow similar attack strategies because they are typically lesser in number. Runner xenomorphs wait for an opportune moment to launch their assault, much like raptors or other pack hunters. On Fiorina 161, the dog alien killed everyone on Fiorina 161, but spared Ripley, who was impregnated with a queen chestburster. In general situations, a xenomorph drone would rather cocoon humans for the queen's ovomorphs and facehuggers, but it is quite possible that the canine killed humans to ensure the young queen's safety. Snake Alien. Kenner designed the Snake Alien as part of their Alien series. Like snakes, it has no limbs but possesses an extremely strong tail that allows it to land severe blows on its victims, often stunning them. We can see two mandibles on the Snake Alien's upper jaw. This can be attributed to the fangs of the snake it came out from. Few snakes, like the king cobra, can spit venom on their victim, often turning them blind. Likewise, the Snake Alien spits acid to achieve similar objectives. Similar to other toys from the Kenner Alien series, the Snake Alien was mentioned in the comic series Aliens, Night Strike, which Dark Horse published in 1992. The comic revolves around Space Marines on Terraform 3, who are faced with the Bull Aliens. The group finds itself in a difficult position until an attack craft, piloted by an unknown person, came for help. Despite killing all the Bull Aliens and the Xenomorph Queen, another sinister creature lurked in the tall grass. These were Snake Alien. If you wish to learn more about them, check out our video titled 13 Dreadful and Ghastly Xenomorph Queen Species Explored. Peek into the macabre world of xenomorphs. We will leave the link in the description. Bull aliens. The bull aliens were formed through the assimilation of xenomorphs and cattle. The bull aliens get their name from the fact that they are aggressive as bulls and hunt via stampeding their prey, a trait sometimes in fauna like the African wild buffaloes. With a maximum speed of around 49 miles per hour, they charge on their enemy with a high magnitude of force and can do some real damage. Similar to the Praetorian Crushers, they perform headbutts. The sheer brute force of these attacks are enough to damage and topple armored vehicles, let alone break bones and kill humans. It is well established that all xenomorph strains are vulnerable to fire. The bull aliens, however, are especially weak against the element. Anything above 164 degrees Celsius will kill them instantly. Another important and interesting aspect of this offshoot is that they make their own hives with a bull alien queen. This was certainly not the case in other xenomorph strains like the dog alien. A hive may consist of up to 81 drones, 57 eggs, and a queen. Since they are formidable themselves, they don't need special protection from Royal Guard or Praetorians. The bull aliens were first witnessed on Terraform 3, where they were wreaking havoc and posed a great challenge to Ripley and her colonial marines. This xenomorph outbreak was finally contained when help arrived in the form of an attack craft. This species may have formed directly from actual cattle, although this would presumably have led to the birth of runners, and therefore there is an obvious idea that they could have certainly evolved from another species. We mentioned earlier that the dog alien appeared in Alien 3, but the assembly cut of the film shows that runner xenomorphs took birth from a bull instead. Gorilla alien. On the planet Zevan, the Space Marines encountered the Gorilla aliens. As the name suggests, it was formed when a facehugger impregnated a four-armed gorilla-like animal that was native to the planet. They also came across the hulking gorilla queen. She had the same number of appendages, but also 2 small forearms, making her hexabrachial. Furthermore, pure gorilla aliens were witnessed in the USS Sephora in 2179 at the Weyland-Yutani Research Center. As the xenomorphs inherit traits from their host, the gorilla alien could not only spit acid, but also climb trees and move using the branches. They were extremely fierce beasts and could kill anyone with the sheer force of their muscular and massive bodies. They have made several more appearances than other xenomorph strains, and you can catch up with them in the comics: Alien Jungle Attack, Aliens Meltdown, and Alien Infestation. They also appeared in the 1993 video game Alien vs. Predator. Octo-Facehugger. These unique facehuggers were found inside an engineer temple on the moon Echaron, which was formerly known as LV-426. It was supposed to be the creature to impregnate Charlie Holloway in Ridley Scott's 2012 film Prometheus. However, it was cut out when the flick was in the initial days of the production. In the original script by John Spates, it was to give birth to a beluga chestburster and xenomorph.
You're strong.
Another member of the crew named Jocelyn Watts also came across the Octo-Facehuggers, but fled the spot before any of them could activate. Like other facehuggers, the Octo ones come out of the sacs when the Ovomorph senses the presence of possible prey. Their acid can melt any external attachment like helmets. According to the writer, the Octo-Facehuggers are the original form of a xenomorph facehugger, while the rest are the weaponized versions of the species. As the name suggests, these creatures resemble an octopus with multiple limbs. They are slimy beasts that leave a long trail of mucus when traveling. After they impregnate their prey, they die like other xenomorph facehuggers. Crocodile alien. The killer croc alien was introduced in the Batman and Alien crossover comics. It possessed all the traits of a typical xenomorph, all while drawing enhanced and exaggerated crocodilian features like razor-sharp claws, pointy fangs, and a long, agile tongue. The comic series revolves around the disappearance of an archaeologist named Abel Barrett, who was employed by Wayne Tech. When Batman heard of the news, he decided to go to the Amazonian forest where Abel was working. Batman discovered Abel's corpse that was used as a host of a xenomorph impregnation. What Batman didn't know was that a crocodile had unwittingly come near an ovomorph and gotten impregnated by it. In the latter half of the comic, Batman fights with the crocodile alien, but the massive beast wouldn't give up without putting up a strong fight. Interestingly, the structure where they were fighting was constructed above a volcanic pit. Batman managed to make the crocodile alien bleed, just enough to melt the larger part of the arena. Once he was sure enough that the crocodile alien would fall into the lava pit, he fled from the spot using his Batarang. Scorpion Alien. The Scorpion Aliens originated in the desert planet called Tanaka 5 and lived in a colony of 39 workers, 23 ovomorphs, and 1 queen. Like the regular scorpions, they had poison-tipped tails, but they also received spiky body armor because of xenomorph impregnation. These ferocious beasts of the desert can only be blown apart by missiles and grenades. Interestingly, the Scorpion Aliens were probably inspired by the original Aliens script, in which the drones were supposed to have stingers on the tip of their tails, which would have contained a serum to paralyze the victim for cocooning. One of the few ways to kill the Scorpion Alien is through a grenade, but this is risky because upon detonation, the Scorpion Aliens explode and anything or anyone in the immediate vicinity gets sprayed by their corrosive acidic blood. These vicious beasts surfaced in comics like Aliens Desert Storm, Aliens Operation Rescue, and Aliens Hive War. Rhino Alien. The Rhinoceros alien is one of the most elegant xenomorphs ever witnessed. It dons 2 horns above its nose, much like a typical rhino, and has a grand muscular body. The horns can be used for offense as well as defense. Its exoskeleton is so strong that bullets and fire fail to have any effect on it, and the only way to control it is through freezing it in sub-zero temperatures. Given its stature and build, it is essentially a Praetorian or warrior caste. In fact, one of the Rhino aliens served as a royal guard or a Praetorian in the comic Aliens Ice Storm. Some argue that Rhino aliens are essentially runners because of their quadrupedal stance, but that's wrong because they serve more as a bull alien or a crusher, which love to headbutt people and vehicles. Vampiric Queen. The comic Aliens Vampirella revolves around a vampire named Vampirella. Despite being a vampire, Vampirella is a moral and just being who works in tandem with humanity. She and a few humans investigate a cave because there was a reason to believe that something suspicious was going on in there. They find that the cavern houses several xenomorph eggs. The human proximity triggers the ovomorph, and several facehuggers break out to attack the rather unsuspecting host. A royal facehugger impregnated Vampirella, and the resultant chestburster came out as a xenomorph queen. Everyone else died, but Vampirella survived due to her healing abilities. The Vampire Queen resembles xenomorphs who gestated from humans, but she possesses a pair of wings, and is thus one of the few xenomorph queens to have the ability to fly. Furthermore, the process of the development of the royal chestburster into an adult was highly accelerated because the host was a vampire. In the end, Vampirella and the Vampire Queen indulged in a high-octane battle. It should be noted that the Vampire Queen is not the first vampiric xenomorph, as a similar crossover was seen in a Buffy the Vampire Slayer short named In Space, No One Can Hear You Slay. Rogue Xenomorph. In 1993, Dark Horse Comics released a miniseries called Aliens Rogue. In this intense and strong story, Professor Ernst Kleinst works for the ZCT Corporation, while John Gray works for the competitor. Gray goes undercover to help Kleinst, who has a dangerous plan to create an artificial king xenomorph by altering the biology and psychology of a captured xenomorph. The intent of the plan was good, but the means to do so was highly dangerous and disastrous. Initially, Kleinst suffered failures and setbacks, but after Gray's cover is blown, Kleinst has an epiphany to do something novel and crazy. He splices Gray's DNA with the xenomorph and successfully creates the King Xenomorph. This brute monster is every bit as strong as a Queen Xenomorph or her Praetorians. He doesn't see humans as enemies because it was designed and engineered in that fashion, and treats other xenomorphs as hostile and begins to slaughter them. This strange and dangerous Xenomorph's belief was Klein's master plan. He wanted to use the Xenomorphs to get rid of each other and benefit humanity. However, the base where the king was created also held captive a queen. Being in the vicinity of another creature, the king Xenomorph felt his authority was threatened, and so broke containment and came to be known as Rogue. Rogue was essentially way more aggressive and hostile than smaller aliens or the queen herself, but at the end of the day, he was a creation of man and didn't have enough battle experience. The Rogue managed to slay the Praetorians that were protecting the queen, but ultimately died at Her Majesty's hands. Predalien. Any discussion about the different strains of Xenomorphs is incomplete without mention of Predaliens. A Predalien is formed when a Xenomorph facehugger manages to impregnate a predator or Yautja, and the resultant chestburster is called a Predalien. It has been well established that Xenomorphs inherit the DNA and genetic code of their host, but this DNA reflex is the most pronounced in a Predalien Xenomorph, which takes on its host to acquire several features like dreadlocks, mandibles, and a lighter skin coloration. As such, the Predaliens are far stronger than the Xenomorphs spawned from humans. We know that predators and aliens are the fiercest of enemies. Therefore, such offspring are very rare in number. Yautjas themselves consider Predaliens as abominations, and they send their best warriors to slay any hybrids. These beasts don't really form a part of the Queen's Hive or the Xenomorph social hierarchy and operate as lone rangers. Like the predators, the Predaliens also retrieve trophies such as skulls and spines, but to say that they do this to get honor or respect would be wrong. This behavior might just be the result of the inheritance of genetic memory from the host. It is more likely that the Predalien takes trophies out of an instinctive and compulsive urge to do so, but doesn't necessarily know why it is doing it. The world of Xenomorphs is a strange and vast place with extensive biodiversity. We can only wish that we get to see some of these in live action. So let's keep our fingers crossed and never stop hoping.
And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.